Hello, and welcome back to Conversations Over Coffee. This is your host, Denise, and I'm sitting here with.
Christopher.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, this is what's that fourth episode?
Fourth episode.
Yeah, so we're pretty much committed in this thing of podcasting, and hopefully we get more people listening to us. We get a few people. You know, grateful for every person that sits in and listens to us. Yeah. So how's the week been, champ?
It's been a week, it's been busy.
What have you been working on? Well, much as you can tell us, because work is, work.
Well, this is the week I go out and meet with all of my individual sites to check on them. So that's usually a lot of moving around, a lot of talking, pretty busy.
Okay, okay. It sounds like fun as usual.
Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's stressful.
Yeah. Yep, yep. So we got a few things we're going to talk about here. We got a few things that we wrote down, that we want to discuss. You know, one that I didn't talk it over with you. I don't know if you remember her, but Baywatch actress and what's this David Hasselhoff's ex-wife. Have you ever heard of a lady named Pamela Batch?
Not at all.
Me neither. If so, I don't remember her. She was 62 years old and she passed away. And unfortunately, she died by suicide.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, 62 years old. And say, you know what? I'm just going to just let it go. Yeah.
She must have been really struggling with something.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of things happening to a lot of people these days. Mental health. They don't have people to talk to. It's more aggressive than it probably was like in the 90s or 80s. I don't think growing up as a kid in the 90s I heard of that. And that's me honest. It's either that or I was like really naive to the fact.
Well, I think we were still under the generation of suck it up and just keep going. You don't have feelings. You don't feel sad.
Mm,
You do what you're supposed to do and be happy for what you got. And I think as we've hit two generations from that group now, it's more focused on how you're feeling. Excuse me. Feeling all your feelings, dealing with your trauma, um, exposing your tough childhood, and so it's more of a thing now.
oh,
But at
yeah.
the same time, there's a million more resources. There are counselors and psychiatrists, and there's virtual appointments, and
This is true.
so there's more opportunity to have a place to try to work things out for yourself.
Yeah. It it does break my heart because I'm wondering it's like do you have anybody to talk to before you're like, okay, I'm just gonna end it all? You know,
You can call a crisis hotline.
hell, you can call me. No, I'm not giving my number out. You can email me. How about that? You can email us here. You could definitely email us here. You
We are
know,
not trained crisis
yeah,
professionals.
but no, I could be somebody to talk to. Let's talk about it before jump off a building or do something. That's for sure. It's just crazy how time has evolved, and I'm like, wow, we have a son here on Earth, and it's like I hope he never goes through none of this stuff. It's quite scary and confusing and all that stuff.
He's such a like low key dude, happy to be out in the world. I hope he is able to keep that kind of attitude as he continues to grow.
Yeah, man.
He just
Yeah,
wants snacks and a play buddy. That's all he
yeah.
needs, and his world is
I'm
right.
like that now. You know, at my mature age now, snacks. You can be my buddy. Yeah. Other news. This,
Hopefully, happier news.
yeah, happier news is more confusing news. You never know who you're kin to. Rapper Sexy Red is kin to what is it?
Nelly.
Nelly. Yeah, when did he come out in the 90s? Late 90s? Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Nelly, the rapper, they are officially cousins. They said that on Big Boy's podcast. Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, so you don't know who your family members are.
Is she from? Isn't Nelly from New Orleans or
Yeah,
no? St. Louis.
St. Louis. I think that's her her stomping grounds too.
Okay,
That good
okay.
old sexy red.
Well, I don't know that the talent went through the whole family line because
I'm gonna tell
she
you.
all right.
What we were talking about earlier? Nelly said it. He was just talking just as a whole. It's this genre called ho music. Where the beat's good, but the lyrics are trash, and they just I don't know.
It's not even melodic though.
It
It's it sounds like some prison stuff.
it's everything. They was just like, hey, get in the booth and say some nigga shit.
Oh Lord. See, and when you say hoe music, the first thing I thought about was Adina Howard. That's some hoe music.
That's
That's
home music.
good hoe
That's home
music.
music, but sexy. She's very entertaining. I don't want to bash her. I always say this. I'll root for her to find her way as a young artist, but her compared to Glorilla, it's two different worlds, and they're from the same era of their little music. It's like crazy. I'm like you just I don't know. She just woke up one morning and just said I could just make some hoe music. You know.
I mean, I guess she's speaking to somebody because she's popular, so she resonates with some group.
Yeah, and that type of music will be played. I think me and you talked about it in strip clubs.
But it's not even good to dance to.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it don't matter as long as you can shake it.
yeah. I'm talking. I guess. I guess. What do you think about Glorilla?
I think her music is. I mean, it's still catchy, boppy. It's not
Yeah, I
deep,
like
but
her.
it's it sounds better. It has a
Yeah,
melody and flow, and it feels more put together than just kind of I don't know,
yeah,
like offbeat talking to the beat is
yeah,
what.
yeah. That's what sexy does. Yeah, and they're I don't know. Glorilla just does it better because she. Don't get me wrong. She puts that nasty stuff in there, but it's not. You know what I'm
It
saying?
rhymes.
Yeah, it's just not really raunchy. It's
Right. It's and sometimes raunchy is good, but sexy red it's like
you feel dirty after you listen to it. You really feel.
be like, what's your home training? I don't know. It's a little too much.
I will admit, I feel like trash when I listen to her in the car if she comes on. I feel like I've slept with a whole bunch of prostitutes.
Oh gracious. Okay, well that's not good.
Yeah, so I completely turn it. Okay, in other news, we'll get off the news train, but it's just things to talk about. I think we talked about early. What's that? Diddy wins. What's that? Partial court victory as majority of the claims are dismissed. So he's not out of the woods yet, but it's a big. It's probably about like just say 50% is like dismissed.
Well, and I wonder if the dismissed claims are the racketeering stuff or is it
Yeah,
the kidnapping baby oil
yeah.
stuff?
We don't know anything yet. I
Because he's
mean,
still in prison.
yeah, he's not going to come out without catching something. He's going to come out kind of hurt, but he'll recover over time. He'll probably have to pay a whole bunch of what's that legal fees and what's that probation for 80 years or something. I don't know. They'll give him something crazy.
Maybe so.
You
Do you
know,
think this experience will have humbled him any?
it has to. You being 55 years old, you're a multimillionaire. You was at the top and you thought, like you said, you were invincible. It has to humble you. You have to be a little low key. What I think Puffy forgot is work on the music. That's what him and Big did back in the '90s. They were just all Puff was just all about music, and he did good hits. Like Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, all these guys. He was producer on. He did an empire, but now Bad Boy these days is just like dwindled to nothing. MGK, you know, basically like I said, it's nothing. They just got one artist that's
That's
selling something.
crazy. Okay, well, he might not be a multimillionaire for too much longer.
I don't know. He has to pay all these what's that fees and stuff like that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of prison people, Yolanda is not getting out of jail.
Yolanda.
Salvazar,
Yes.
Selena's
Yeah,
alleged
man.
assassinator,
Yeah, big up to the people who are not
the
letting her
parole
out.
board.
Yeah, big up to the parole board, man, because she deserves not to be out. Period.
I don't think she would have lived long if she got out because everybody would have been gunning for
Yeah,
her.
yeah, because Selena lived a good life. We didn't even get to go through like you always find something crazy about stars that comes out. Like we found something out about Puff Daddy. He likes baby oil, or for years Bill Cosby was raping women every year.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, all these people allegedly, but it's like Selena, we loved her. She didn't do nothing.
Her daddy kept her on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, or we didn't get a chance because she was so young. Like I said, when we finally got to hear her, a few things from her, it was like her time
Bitty
was
bitty
done.
bum bum.
Yeah, it was done. It was done. So be careful who you put in your corner. But yeah, like you said, if she would have got out, she wouldn't have lived. Because people have not forget that. You got to think the people that lived through the era of Selena, they're kind of still living. They're not old people.
No.
I don't think. So big out to the like I said, big shouts out to the what's that parole board. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good times, man. Good times. Stay in prison. Yeah. Oh boy, what do you think about Disney remaking all these movies?
I think they need to leave it alone.
Yeah,
The
man.
only one, and even there was a lot of criticism about the Ariel movie, and I think it ended up working just enough because everybody was different colors and different kind of people, so it wasn't individual comparisons. But the other ones, Snow White, that is not Snow White.
Yeah.
The Lion King, I think it's just not the same. Jungle Book with the real animals, just it's not the same vibe.
Yeah.
And I don't think people want you messing with their childhood memories like that.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe you've lightly touched on this. It's like I get what Disney's trying to do. They're trying to include everybody. They're like, oh, let's just turn Ariel to a brown girl. It sounds great when it's on paper, but it's like you got to think of the people before that. I want the little white girl that I grew up with. Unfortunately,
But
that's
like,
what I want. I'm sorry,
at,
y'all can hate me.
at
That's
least
all I
for
know.
that one, everybody was different. So it was kind of like Ariel 2.0 versus, this that's not Snow White.
No, she's the actress who plays her is what's that Colombian and something else. I think German.
Her hair's not fluffy enough, her body's not fluffy enough, her face is not round enough, her
Yeah,
dress is not fluffy
she's
enough.
not pale. I remember Snow White being a
Yes,
little palish,
she
man.
was an ivory complected woman, yet she's
Yeah,
not. And who what was the other one?
the
Even it hasn't come out yet, but Lilo and Stitch, I know you're excited about that. You
yeah.
feel like they're gonna do a good
Hopefully they
job.
nail it.
However, the sister
Yeah, she ain't got
is
them
not
anchor.
brown enough and she
Yeah,
doesn't have cankles
yeah.
and she
She had
don't
them.
have the
She had
body.
them thick, strong calves and ankles. Yeah, I'm hoping Disney gets it, but I'm like you. I think they should stop. I think a lot of these companies should stop trying to go back into their vault, you know, and remaking stuff and doing it. You might have a few remakes out there that have nailed it. I don't know any personally of anything that remade it.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, just can we kind of stop? It's like nobody's smart in Hollywood now like they were in the 80s or 90s. Like you talked about a whole bunch of stuff you grew up watching as a girl, like what's that Pretty in Pink, Phyllis Bueller's Day Off. What else? What's the other stuff?
16 Candles,
16 Candles,
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, you can go on and on. I got a few, like Weird Science. Even Home Alone was something, different. They're not giving us too much anything. Nobody's creative anymore. That's for sure.
Well, I think they're looking for the easy ticket. It's like it was successful again, or it was successful the first time. It should be easy to make it successful again, but they're not banking on people having attachments to those original
Yeah.
pieces, and you just can't mess with
Yeah.
everything.
And definitely this new Snow White. How much did I say it made? The budget was
43.
yeah, I think the budget was 270 something. Just starting off, that's what we know. They said it was higher. And some people have been saying, reason why these movies are not working. I don't think so. It could be a whole bunch of things. They're saying because these are, you know, women of color now playing these parts, you know, it really shouldn't matter, you know, to none of us because you know Disney, like I said, when they started the whole princess thing, it was like 1937 up until what did I say it was?
Tiana.
Until 1997, I think maybe, or I forgot, not 1997 when the new
Probably later than that. I
later,
don't
yeah, a
remember
little bit
exactly.
later, from 1937 to you know up until I guess we'll say when Princess and the Frog came out, all the princesses were white, and then we got Princess Tiana, and she was brown. You know, and the white people's like, we're not, you know, changing that character to a white woman. You know, people want to bring racism in it, and it makes it kind of weird. You know, what do you think?
Well, one, it was a different time, but
Mm-hmm.
I think those were long tails that you had to maintain what those characters look like.
Yeah,
Cinderella had the blonde hair, Belle had the red hair, Snow White had, who they looked like and what they were. And back then, we weren't as culturally aware and sensitive as we are now.
very much.
And so it's for people who grew up with those movies, it's just a fond memory of their generation.
Yes,
All that
yes,
other stuff doesn't play in it. And even, before Tiana, we had Pocahontas. She
yeah,
was representing, people of color, as well as Jasmine. That's the other one. When they redid, made live action of Aladdin, the best thing apart about that was Will Smith's character. The rest of it was horrible, and the Jasmine was not right in that either. And
yeah,
if they're not right, people are not gonna like it. It's
yeah.
not gonna succeed.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. And then you got the you know younger generation. They like what they like. I'm not saying putting any shade on the younger generation, you know, but they only hear stories with their parents how they grew up watching these movies, and they go with their you know parents or maybe their friends. They was like my mom, my dad. They said this was this. Let's go see it, and they get in the movie theater. They're like that ain't what they you know they told us it was gonna be like. This is trash. You know, and then they start talking.
Right.
And then they tell their friends and they're not going, you know. Man, I'm telling you, it's a different time. I tell you. I would talk about this. You said you didn't know about this, but what's this peppermint on the RuPaul's
Oh,
Drag
from
Race?
RuPaul's Drag
Yeah, you
Race.
said it was a season you didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't. I know once you start talking about it, I've heard the name and like seen her on social media, but I didn't. I missed that season of her actually being on the show.
Yeah, well, big shots out to her and her boo, her high school boo. They got married. You know, good times.
I mean, true love always finds its way back together.
Yeah, man. I was watching something earlier today, and there was whole people talking about sexuality. Your personal opinion about is a man gay if he dates somebody or marries somebody that's transgender and she had her whole surgery? Is it really gay or not gay?
It's not gay. They're a woman now.
Yeah, that's what's. I mean, that's what it looks like when you look at them. You know, and I feel about that too. But and plus, it's not my business.
Right.
You know,
Unless they invite you to participate or they ask for your opinion, anybody else in the world, it's nobody's business. And, love is love,
yeah,
happiness is happiness. And why should anybody be denied any of those
yeah.
things?
I, I'm so much a person. People gonna say, "Chris, you suck." It's like if you walk up to me, you're a guy, and you have on a beard. You have a beard, but you have a wig on and female's clothes, and you're like, "Chris, I'm a woman." I'm like, okay, you know, it's just I don't care. You don't. I mean, like I'm not in your world. You're not in my world. You know what I'm saying? You're not hurting me. I'm not hurting you. You don't pay bills at my house. I don't pay bills at your house. You happy? Okay, let's dap it up. You're cool.
Well,
You
and
know?
right, no matter what, they're still a person, whether they identify as a woman, a man,
Yeah, that.
a cat, whatever.
Yeah,
They got a beard and a wig, or they got boobs and a man part. There's is still a person.
it's like we forget that people are people. It's you know it's so easy to be nice. You know, to people, and why we can't be nice, we just have to come out the gate really hateful. You know, we just can't be relaxed. Me and you are so relaxed. You know, I love any and everybody, you know. Well, guys, we are going to wrap it up on this episode. I hope we didn't bore you guys too
We were a bit
much.
random this
Yeah,
time.
we're very. If you read the title on our page, we're random, but that's the fun thing about it. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you guys again.
Later.